Very complicated job, but I love simple things so much. One move, one push. One touch. One love. One click. One expert.
Are you sick of JKs?
Watch the matches with bo3.gg, the official stats partner of CCT. Check out AI-powered predictions in live matches. Get access to live scoreboards packed with in-depth weapons and grenade statistics. Check out round maps in the match results. Extend your game vision with bo3.gg.
Yo, what are you doing?
Exhibit.
What do you think? I'm a paperclip? It's Mr. S to the Z. You need to quit browsing like a lame and get Opera GX. Because with GX mods, you can pimp your motherfucking browser. All you got to do is click here, select the mod, and boom! New look, new sounds, new everything. It's not easy being a legend. Oh, shit. Not again. Change the mod now. Download Opera GX.
The champion of champions.
Welcome back, ladies and gents, to another episode of the CCT podcast.
We've got a ton to talk about, man. There's just so much action.
It feels like it's never ending.
Hey guys, we have another interview for you today. Very special guest, Speedy.
First, the funny thing, they also call me Grandpa in my team because I'm so old.
What are your general thoughts on what might come for the next couple of months of CS2?
Well, where do we stand now is the question I have to ask and answer, I guess, in your case, Dwayne. I don't know where we look here towards our last map of the series. I had Big Pin to take that second half easily. They absolutely bottled it, and it's just... What do you say? What do you say after something like that?
Well, the first one is no bomb plants in an entire second half, which is madness. Another one, you look at the stats of Inters in that second half, he went 0-2. That just shows you how much avoidance there was of that B-side. I'm not worried about the kills. I'm worried about the deaths. The fact that he died twice shows you there was absolutely no notion of trying to be exec, trying to late round B. It was just an overall collapse from Big. And I think TSM have jumped at the opportunity. Moto and Cypher in there and Con and Bathrooms are just doing so much. And now you go towards Nuke, which is a map that they're a little bit more familiar with. They've had some somewhat decent results under their belt. This is where you have to show everyone up and say, we're actually coming here for the series. We're not coming here just to win our map pick.
yeah, credit to those two for taking the opportunity to really rise up. And you mentioned Cypher, obviously, top fragging at the end of that last map up there of Overpass. Modo was hitting some absolutely insane AWP shots there. But over the course of the series, Inters has gotten 6 frags. So for me, there's a key point there in which Big can exploit going into this Nuke. They're going to have to find him, shut him down, and absolutely dismantle TSM. It's our final map of the day. It's Nuke. TSM on the CT side start big, get things going. So final thoughts and final feelings about how this one's going to play out, Dwayne?
I think, again, you have to back the big side to be able to close this series down, because if they don't close, this will probably be the biggest upset of the entire tournament.
Well, thank God for the lower bracket is all I'm going to say there, if that is what happens. I wouldn't be so sure about Nuke being so confident. It's not exactly been a great map for Big in CS2. We'll dive into that in a little bit of a second because the round is underway and Crimbo's got 2. Cypher with a second half of the lobby crunch takes him right back to a trade. A 4-on-3 situation. Big have the man advantage still.
Yeah, they've got a lurk down of Process to lower, but yet trying to take Heaven as well. So it actually could just be a little bit of a fake here to upper from Tabson, and that bomb can tail out towards ramp and try and drop.
Swing forward, Cypher has caught the man, but he's not able to catch the kill. Jax will drop in at the ramp room. So 2 left standing in Volde and Cypher. Process is already aware and waiting for Cypher in the vent itself. Kill found, 1 man left in the round, and this should be a big pistol again.
And I think as well for Big, they've got to prove to themselves and prove to the fans that that was just like a one-off, that's not going to happen again. Because anytime you've got a top favorite team not even winning a single round and a half, it feels odd. It doesn't feel right. And for TSM, I mean, coming into this pistol, they tried the lobby crunch, and I think it got cancelled fairly quickly from Crimbo's perspective too. Very quick kills shaping up that round.
Well, there's your start for Big. Precisely what we want to see from them and what we should really be seeing realistically. Better team in this scenario did not think we were going to get towards map 3. 1xBet odds, of course, expectantly have them as favourites.
Does make you wonder who they're going to get tested through in this entire bracket. Again, I think looking for Org and Big are the 2 go-tos as the top favorite teams in the event. If you're dropping a map to TSM and maybe you're showing some struggles on a 3rd map decider, that actually could open up our horizon to potential upsetting teams that could face off against Big. I mean, I'm pretty sure B&E are in the pathway that if they beat Freezy and it kind of keeps going in that direction, they could meet.
I'm just thinking back to the old Big, you know, the one from the last handful of online events in the last year or so, where they've always gone get invited to a quarterfinal position or a top of 16, and then they just end up getting eliminated by sometimes not even capable tier 2 teams at certain periods, and there have been some really awkward results. I'm hoping this is not a sign of that to come. But there's a reason why we're worried and why we're considering that prospect. And I'd say that there are a handful, probably more capable teams than not here in this bracket this week. So I'll be keeping a close eye on Big and their officials in the CCT Online Finals. For now, just got to get through TSM. They've got to force buy into this follow-up.
And Molly out there towards a close vent. Jax going to get mollied off of the top of Hut and straight into the hands of Crimbo. Continuous flashes coming through from the T roof, and this should just be an instant save. Jax at least needed to go for 1, and unfortunately doesn't quite happen.
Put that bomb down. TSM not going to stick around for the retake. They've already backed off Cypher. The rest of the not rifles, but the rest of the upgrades and the Force investment will be able to escape towards Spawn. Yeah, comfortable kill, comfortable take, and comfortable second for Big.
And TSM will at least have some upgrades come that next round. Inters might try a little bit of a late dive here into the bomb site, considering he's got a smoking kit. And he's being watched, unfortunately, for Process, so it was a good idea. It didn't quite work.
No exit. Similar story for Cypher as well, bursted upon by the MAC-10. Valde almost drops. He does drop in the end, so cash available for the SMG. Pick can play the bonuses as well for the next rifle round if Big want to.
Considering it was a
TSM.
4v5 save, that got a lot more expensive than I think TSM were expecting.
Yeah, definitely. And the end result probably just going to be some more of these basic USPs, a harsh eco for the 3-0 start on Big's part of things. A couple of upgrades in the CZs and the P250s, so a little bit of expenditure. But all about that rifle round of the next fast play out from Big. Going to waste very little time getting into this round. And actually, they do lose one on Mantu. But fortunately, the Mat 10 and the AK have it unlocked. Should upgrade to one of those Galils. And order has been restored again.
The process looking back into lobby with a teammate. Moto does get a pretty good kill with that 5-7. Sin has got Cypher close by him at the door.
Tabson wasn't expecting that. Int is applying pressure as Cypher gets the pick. Suddenly, this is a workable eco steal. Crimbo, AK versus 2. Cypher swings. Moto caught Cypher. P250 will not last in that one. 3 to the name of Crimbo in the end. I'm talking about expense for TSM at the end of that last round. Expense for Big right here and now. Fortunately, they were most of the SMGs and Galils. So we should be seeing the AKs return as the buyback returns from TSM the same.
Yeah, Big will want to be looking to clean up their act. They won't be happy about that round at all. Crimbo is definitely the best clutcher on this Big team, and I think he's probably going to be one of the best clutchers that we see in this event. I think right there for TSM, that nearly came through as a bit of a steal round. And kind of mentioned some of the results as well for TSM. I mean, for Big, we've seen them get eliminated in events quite a bit on Nuke. We saw the loss of Rubet in the quarterfinals up against Aurora, only getting 10 rounds. The loss against 9 Pandas that went into overtime, that sieged his teams. Sort of guys that are outside of the top 50 on HLTV. So it hasn't always been that clean for Big on this map.
Yeah, the win rate isn't great for them, but they are taking on some tier 1 teams and they do lose. Inters has found Sin first and foremost. Kick off his frag is opening in the round and the game. Advantage for TSM. The AWP of Moto misses an all-important flick, so forced to vacate the lockers.
Being driven very far away. I mean, you can even feel Inters just dropping down to that lower bomb site after working that first pick. You still got a lobby work in there from, or Crimbo, I should say, more towards the outside in lobby. Inters down towards lower. Needs to try and go 1-for-1 again if he can.
One-for-one trades finally come in eventually. Valde catches Crimbo out towards the back lines here. Inter still looking to engage on Mantu, and Process doubles up for the triple overall in the rounds. Tabson there with a responsive, now going for the plant down. Smokes in the way of Valde, so it will be stuck, and there will be cash bonuses available for Big in the next buy up here. Still got a little bit of cash in reserve as well. Tabson trying to go for the clutch, but ultimately good for that one frag and no more. The fuse coming in for TSM as they find their first on Nuke.
A decent effort there from Tabson right at the end to at least keep it expensive and get the bomb plant down. But you look at that round overall, and you've got to give a lot of props to Inters. Getting that first kill, dropping down, even with Moto being forced away, he doesn't refi back into the angle. Instead, hold himself just on the off, looking at mini ramp to that left-hand side of Dark. And just keep fragging. 3 with the M4. Of course, Crimbo, which was the top site lurk, was only really able to get 1 in lobby before dropping. So a good start there for TSM. That was a strong round for them.
Gun buys in from both sides. Big, of course, thanks to the bomb plant bonus, still suffering with the Galil. AK in play as well for Valde on TSM, so a little bit of extra firepower to play with on the CD side of things. Tabson towards the outside, flashes and mollies. Extra smokes in from the rest of the Big side, who will look to set up towards the outside smokes. Diagonal is what it looks like. It's a slow walk from Big.
And Tabson just pretty much working on the outside of Africa right now. Everybody else is still inside in lobby. Crimbo. He's got a lot of teammates in and around him. The re-smoke down towards door is going to cancel for a moment.
We're still just forming up here and getting some players up top. Potentially to get some utility in from the skylights. That might be an opportunity.
It seems like it is just going to be an A split. The late lurk to Tabson to work out from main.
45 seconds to make it happen. They are putting a player, are putting some utility up on the roof rather. Swing forward, Tapson finds Cypher's position, unable to get the kill until far later in the duel. Meanwhile, Jax has fallen as the first casualty on the site itself. Intis caught looking the wrong way, prepared for a flashbang, it never came. Tapson just dry out, gets his kill. The AWP and Modo, couldn't line up the shot in time. Tapson responds towards it. It's Valde alone to save.
And sometimes you just feel for the topside anchors when they're playing anti-flash and you're getting killed before the flash has even popped. It just shows the coordination there from Big. Some very good picks up there to topside. And look at Tapson. Not only did he get that kill onto Cypher and from Garage from Africa, but he comes in from main, he keeps fighting, he gets that second kill onto Inters, and then drops Moto. A huge round coming there from Tabin, and really expensive to the CT economy line. Because think about it from TSM, you've just won your first round, you're looking to stabilize, you're looking to get rounds in a row, and instead, all you're getting is a saved AK, and not enough money to buy back in the next round.
Yeah, Big stabilizing. TSM. He being dire straits. 3 to the good on the T side line. TSM. Only a couple of rounds away from losing the tie advantage and then potentially losing the half outright here from them. Will certainly give away round number 6. Nothing really to play with. I think their best bet really is to protect that AK into the next rifle.
Big might even try and set up a bit of a vent dive. In from door, there's a lot of utility flowing through, but no aggression, so it doesn't seem like it is going to be the drop in the end. Haven't even really seen Big take much of outside. Like, we've seen the traditional diag smokes and the 1-2-3, but it's just been a lot of work outside with a single lurk of Abson, and then everybody else just regroup lobby.
Oh, Tapson gets caught off guard by Valde. There you go. One pick found. USP going to get back downstairs on Inters' part. Deagle and Modo looking for some long-range duels, perhaps. Not even focused on the ramp room entirely. Big allowed to walk there dry and quiet.
This is a good pause for Inters to maybe get a dink, possibly 2, if he's getting enough distraction from his teammate. Just in this kind of range, not often pre-aimed.
Cypher around the corner, Inters on the off angle.
Oh, he's been seen now.
Yeah, USP gun barrel seen, although the bait from Cypher gets himself the kill, doesn't matter. The 3 have come in from the T side, so it's still their advantage. Plant will be secured, rotations will be cut off. It looks like Valde and Modo want to try their hands at a retake here just because they have a little bit of firepower and they're going to have a buy in the next round. Losing the AK is not ideal, but they have got Crimbo, so it's 2 versus 2. Information on both individuals, though. Nades the Molotov siphon off one angle, a counter nade on Mantu, tags him to half HP. Sin still close, Valde catches the angle. Struggle from Sin, he's got that headshot on Modo, but not the second man. And indeed, it is a success.
It's just frustration again. Like, it feels so frequently, just like Overpass that we're seeing here on Nuke, Big is sometimes wanting to look too much before the round is even secured. And I kind of look at that one in the 3v2 and thinking, is it necessary for Crimbo to cut a rotate ramp by himself? Like, just being in a position where you can't even trade off of a teammate. If you fall, it's back to a 2v2. Like, it's another one of those rounds there from Big that you shouldn't be losing. That round is literally yours.
It's one more back for the CTs instead. And again, Big conceding a couple of these rounds, which they really shouldn't do. Adding to the concerning factors that we have at the tail end of that last half of Overpass. Extending into the first half here of Nuke. But Big were able to recover off of TSM's first round and put them right back in their places. Money's still not amazing for the CT side. But it's very slow, very considerate on these defaults. Utility coming into block off vision. Bit of a deeper smoke there, but Cypher still can't find his way forward. He'll get flashed towards the outside, but he won't go for the peak.
And Modo, this AWP playing out from device, very deep and back passive. Looking to try and see if he can spot that main drop. Process already coming in, and Cypher to get that first kill.
Alongside Moto's AWP pick, Tabson and Process will go down. Sim with one decent trade, but Crimbo's been tagged as well. Mansu on the outside, wary of Moto's position, aware that he's somewhere out to spawn. I think he's been spotted. Inta's actually going to swing towards the man. Cypher has fallen in trade, but it's still a 3-on-2 situation here for TSM, making it 1. There'll be no responsive from Big today. Crimbo goes down. It's a 3rd.
And it just shows you know, not closing out on the anti-eco, losing the next rifle round, not getting a bomb plant. You've given TSM back into a game. And I always think that if you are a favourite team like you are for Big, you can't let any team in this competition come back in to make competitive scorelines. Because anytime that happens, you start getting nervous. You start thinking to yourself, are we really going to throw this series? Are we just going to give it away and take it as a loss? It's another eco, it's another opportunity for TSM to build, and if they can find that form that we saw from them on Overpass in the second half, this could be a scary prospect.
MP9 finds Tabson. Doesn't find Jax. Process turns around with the P250. Valde also blinded by a flashbang, so Manzu turned his own pistol into a kill, and it looks like Big might respond with an eco of their own here. TSM have stolen a couple of those. Nades of Cypher opening up the main entrance, seeing where Sin is, but couldn't find the angle of attack. Mansu will spray him back as he fades through the smoke, gets dealt with by an AK, and it's a 4-on-2 post-plant for Big.
Yeah, Cypher just walks through the main smoke there. I don't know, really weird round there from TSM. I mean, it shows very early on they wanted to get on the front foot. Jax gets his first kill by getting aggressive into Heart. And just the skylight flashes, and then everything from that point onwards. We're seeing some real scrappy rounds from both teams here.
And here we are. You can just see Cypher slightly making his way through that smoke, costing him his life ultimately. Like that.
It could have been that he was trying to sit in that smoke and wait for Util to come, and he's just gone that little bit too far. But, I mean, when you see stuff like that, especially from a team perspective, you are just a goner. You are just done instantly.
Mistake or overconfident players, whatever it is, what his intention was, it's still going to cost him the round. And again, that was just upgrade pistols. There was no key rifles there for Big. Tactical was taken by TSM as they squander their chance to equalize against the German team. Moments respite because they have still got some save weapons and a buy around them. Big will also have an investment of their own right here. They saved 1 M4 and Processes part. A couple of AKs came out of that round as well. Mantu could also drop Crimbo the AWP perhaps, but that's all just squandered as he gets the utility back out instead. It will just be the AK for that man.
And, I mean, there's probably a lot of teams out there that are kind of looking at this event and saying, why did TSM get invited? Why not us? You know, when you consider the HLTV ranking, but in this isolated best of 3, I think they're making a case for themselves right now. Competitive, up against Big. And 2 rounds the difference in an all-important rifle round that could catapult the lead on the T side, but also continue to keep it fairly neck and neck for TSM.
Yeah, for those of you curious at home, TSM are the lowest ranked team of the lot here at 94 in the world on HLTV. So there's a lot to prove from them. Look, this series may go a very long way of doing so if they can take the result against Big. Because the last thing you want to be, the last place you want to be is in the lower bracket this early on in the tournament. Only round 1 of our double elimination bracket. Big still have their heart set on taking this nuke over, taking the half of T especially. Sin gets caught by Inter's quick burst while blind. Valde now up on the boost, unaccounted for. Process has checked the front corner, not the higher ground. Bomb dropped 5 on 3.
A very good bait and switch. The first time that we've actually seen a boost up there towards that close right-hand side. And Grimbo just knows that this is so difficult to break apart. Time is low. Tabson's down here. As soon as he opens up the window, he's going to make noise.
Moving in against Inters, Valde has been caught. He wasn't even required. Inters just blind by Mantu's flashbang. Tabson still set Cypher. Oh, Lord is right. 3 on 2 for Big from a 5v3 for TSM.
And get the bomb plant. They might try and see if they can deny, open up the double doors and the single.
Moto sprayed back, bomb plant will be secured. Jack's aware of one man in the rafters, that's Tabson going down. Mantu playing the edge of the smoke, the nade will clear it up and Moto gets the credit with the kill. Crimbo aware of where Jax is, bursts through in the open, hunting for his man, but Jax can just about win the clutch. Oh, that got Larry for TSM, but it comes through for them in the end.
Man, I imagine Twitch chat is loving this one. I don't even know what's going on right now. I mean, that is a 5v3 advantage for TSM that nearly gets thrown completely out of the window. And then right at the end, when it looks like Big have done enough to recover, and TSM do win the rounds.
We're on a 4-minute delay away. I can pull up the Twitch stream and let you know how chat reacts to that. Because
what is going on right now?
It has been a very silly series. I'll give you that. Unreal. Big. At least have the funds to sustain another bye, continue the fight, and potentially start another one back against the TSM side. They've got 4 AKs and a MAC 10. Which, knowing the way this has gone, Tabson's going to get an ace in this round, but let's find out. It's again slow on the default.
And not even much of a prod towards outside this time around, which almost tells me that it could be a quick pop towards upper. And try and get in with that util fast. Mantu, default molly and double flash.
Valde inbound, M4 spray, process and tabs and get those kills. Valde with an engagement, a double up found on top of the heart. The AWP and Moto missing his shots back. He has to concede the man advantage and let Inters wrap in with the backstab. Slowly but surely into the lobby position. Crimbo has his man marked around that corner. He will hold and win the fight. The AWP now has to save.
That's a slight off angle there from Crimbo. You could see that he was just an inch towards that left-hand side and tucked right in the corner. And that's just enough of an advantage to be able to win that fight onto Inters, to make Moto save onto the AWP. I think that's a pretty good call there from Big. You've got to remember, their economy's not in a great state. They don't have the best of buys. You mentioned it. Tabson's on a MAC 10. So you go for the top side pop. You go for the molly out towards back default, the double flash. You swarm in. Valde, I mean, he's done as much as he can. He's playing top heart, he's receiving all of the util, he still gets 2 kills. It just comes down to the heaven rotate of Moto not pincering a kill straight away on that first contact. And in the end, it's Big to be able to reset.
Down to double eco status in the case of TSM.
I would really feel for TSM if they go down 4-8 on the CT side of Nuke at the half, because they've actually put in a pretty good shift right now. They've put in a decent performance. It's just the economy troubles. I mean, both teams have lacked in some of the weaker buys that they've been up against, and look at what that's done to TSM.
They've got this key round to potentially turn back in their favour and deny that 8-4. If they do, then they could very well find themselves at 6 apiece, which would be lovely, I think. Very slow and careful for now. There is a bit of a push forward from the ramp room, which might be a slight concern for Big if they're not careful from the lobby crunch.
I wonder if they lose this round and they lose the series. This actually is a really important force buy.
Well, it wouldn't do well for the half, I'll give you that much for free. Tabson's caught Cypher first and foremost to be punished over in that garage position. Now the walk forward from Crimbo, gets Inters, doesn't quite adjust for Valde, so there is one trade.
And the AWP is out towards main, so can't even really strike towards a kill. Jack's caught in a timing, aggressing through in from lobby, and Valde and Moto pretty much just has to be an instant save. I mean, Valde might try his hand down here to the lower bomb side, but you're giving away an AK.
2 players to find, none to gain. Moto's AWP. No way he's going to win the 1 versus 4. Already been champed by Mantu. I don't think he's going to get away live here. Tagged up, T's on the hunt. The bomb will go down. He's got 40 seconds to maintain his life. Mantu, shots ringing in towards him. He'll get back out of position. He does land against that player. Anything more would be stellar. But really, it's all about survival. Second player, flick, overcooked, process, dealt with the USP. Now player up on the roof position. Jump facing from Moto to get that information. Another one around the corner. Oh, the nade's perfect. And that is no rifles for TSM now going into the last round of the half.
And again, kills aren't everything, numbers aren't everything, but I think once again what we're seeing, quite similar to what Vertigo was, of Valde up high with impact and numbers, and then everybody else just tailing behind. I mean, Valde's up there at 14 kills, 5 for Cypher, 5 for Moto, 3 for Jax, 5 for Inters. It's felt like a similar performance once again for the team.
Weapon advantage not secure. Crimbo both through 1 and 2. Not quite a third yet. Actually is going to get allowed a chance here with Inters and Jax going in for the lobby crunch. They've got the bomb control. Sin with a nade though, opening up the smoke. While he sends Valde just runs right into his spray, and Inters is left alone to play with his demise at the hands of Process. An 8-4, half for Big. Very nicely done.
I don't know if it was. They were successful. I don't think it was very nicely done. I think that they had some really scrappy rounds. They got seriously tested in that first half.
I'll take successful. I'll leave out the nicely part. There you
go. And for Big, I mean, it's probably enough, right? I mean, 8 rounds on a T side, you should be closing now. And they know that for themselves, whether it's straight away or whether it's taking a little bit of time, they're in a prime position to close this series down to take the victory.
Well, we said that when they were 8-4 up over on Overpass, so let's see whether or not we're about to jinx them again. USPs and Glocks, a P250 out for Modo. TSM to their T-side start, tags up from Process at range here over at the silo. Cypher tagged at 22. He's ready for players to make their way in from the red control, the red box. Continuously tapping. Process is trying to engage more taps and hopefully get a headshot out of one of them. If not, just continue the damage phase. There goes Modo. Valde with a trade back. Tabson comes up from Secret. Gets 2 kills. Process steals one of them. Tabson is going to get traded. The 3-on-2 scenario for the big side.
Now, getting this bomb down towards lower seems like it's going to be impossible. Getting this bomb towards upper also seems impossible. It's out in the open, and Inters and Jax need to try and almost collide with one another just to keep taking fights to get bomb control.
Inters sees 1, engaging, swing out from Crimbo, Process tagged low, still looking to engage, he had only 1 ammo, 1 bullet left in the magazine. Now should get caught off at credit card, surely gets sandwiched in by these two T-side players. He's got no bullets in general, okay, that's a big concern. Losing his life back to a 2-on-2, but Crimbo has it locked. Inters to fall, Jax to continuously engage, he's the 1 man left, hoping for Sin to give up his life. It's not going to happen. He's trying to fake them down towards Secret and go back to upper. Crimbo may be ready for it, though.
Yeah, he's not moving. Crimbo's in a really good position to at least see this coming in. I can't believe Crimbo hasn't even rotated. Just when it looked like Jax was going to bring that bomb into Secret, bring it down to that lower bomb side. They hold, they trust themselves, and they trust in the process.
Big brain. That's what that was.
Giga Chad. 400 IQ.
That's Hooksy, mate. Sorry, no.
Yeah, sorry. No, you're right. There are no more Giga Chads.
Yeah, mate. Pistol gained by Big. Start of the end for TSM. Need a rifle round to go successfully. You doubt that this eco is going to go well for them at all. SMG and Mantu mows down 2. Makes it look easy. Third player, Valde, felt Inters with 1 trade. That's as far as it's going to go. And interesting enough, that anti-eco kill from Inters has actually gone past his kill count in this map for his entire series in the last 2. So
yeah, he's had a tough one, and I think again, like he's the lowest rated player in CS2, not in the world, just for the TSM side. And I think it's shown in this series. He's really had a tough one. Again, you got to remember the roles he's playing. I mean, even CT side of Nuke, you like the ramp player, and they didn't even really go ramp all that often. So you can oftentimes give it some leeway, but you are right. The numbers across all 3 maps have been very low.
I genuinely thought you meant that in the whole world.
No. Just for the team. Just for the team.
Okay, so it's not all bad. It's just mostly bad. Now for TSM, it's not a good moment at all for them. This map has fallen out of favour. 6 in the lead for Big. SMGs on 2 individuals as part of the CT buy-up. A bit more of a bonus round than anything else. The TSM have a little bit of a firepower advantage. But it's about making up that gap.
Even Cypher working on the outside, you have concern for his lobby players, because with that AWP pressed up towards ramp, any even walk towards Trophy should just be an instant kill for Mantu.
Cypher allowed to walk, Crimbo, and back out to Hell to some harder cover. To engage, seeing him over at the garage, now aware it's a flank involved. It looks to be an upper take. Sin flashed off blind to the SMG, makes his way in alongside the man, processes in. Mo through two, Moto with one trade, Inter's cut off by an incendiary, double up for the AK, make it a triple, and it is a 3-on-2 situation.
Great entries coming through from Moto. Tabson rotated down to the low bomb site, Mantu with the AWP. I mean, you never really want to be in a situation like this. He's got to try and come out hot with an AWP.
Might be best to save those two guns. The other three players have a little bit of cash to play with. Have the full buy in the next. Seems to be looking for exits in the case of Mantu. Tabson is nowhere near the retake. He is coming up to Hell, actually, so if they want to go for a last-second thing, I have to commit to it now, but that would not be a very smart idea. Inter's... Oh, just about missed that one. Mantu, he actually does go down, so... AWP lost, M4 does pick up Cypher. It's an AWP they can't get back in play either, at least not without sacrificing Kevlar on Sin. So that actually is a pretty big kill.
Let's have a look at these kills again. Jeez, good shot into Crimbo out there in heaven. I think it showed that the protocol in terms of utility was pretty good there from Big. The re-smoke off from the door as soon as Cypher gets spotted from Crimbo outside. They had the right positioning, but just a sick round from Moto. Top heart up there at heaven, and then open vent corner. Nicely done.
The fifth back for TSM. Getting Big back into the investment again. They got the XM on Mantu's part, the M4s and everybody else. Cypher charging down into Secret with that MAC-10 and continuing to press on to the lower bomb site. That nade to break it open for Tabson. Going to see two and loses life to Moto. And Jax gets processed as well.
Yeah, that actually does not work out for the CT line whatsoever. And Crimbo didn't even see anyone crossing out towards that main split potential, the front side of garage. And then Mantu with an XM in dark. This just feels like the round is finished.
Have to get some real good lineups with this shotgun.
It's just the range, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not great with the XM. If it was a Nova, perhaps you could peek out and get some effect, but it's really not the best of cases and use cases at all for the shotty itself. Cypher does give him a close range duel, and Crimbo gets one more back, but Mantu will end up dropping. The plant is secured, so 3-on-2 for TSM.
Yeah, TSM has started the grind at least. They're going to have to work insanely hard on this T side. It's not going to be easy to recover this kind of scoreline. It's going to have to come down to resetting constantly. A big look at that entire round and think, yep, go for the save. I mean, that's maybe one of the issues of the breakage of the smoke, right? You can see there from Tabson, breaks the smoke, sees two players. But at the same time, you're one person fighting against two, and they're 2 versus 1 against you, and it just kind of goes the other way. Jax follows up with a kill towards main very quickly. And that's sometimes the disadvantage of using HEs like that.
I mean, the way that we've seen it so far, because we've seen a couple of nukes over the course of the last a week or so in CS2, and it seems to be the most efficient way to crack open that raid across is to have someone else nade from like Heaven or something, and then have someone else like watch it and react accordingly. Perhaps that's something that Big can change up when it comes to stacking on the outside positions. But for now, take that one on the chin and go for the eco around these two weapons, because there isn't enough cash to go back into the investment for them. Just the USPs for Process, Mantu, and Tabson, and not really a whole lot of cash available. Maybe Mantu could buy an upgrade, but it really won't mean much.
And for TSM, this is prime opportunity now to at least get a little bit of a round-winning streak. Even if it's only 3 or 4 rounds, just try and pepper away at that scoreline differential of 6 to 10 down. And TSM have been in a position here where they're not getting many opportunities events. You think to the Sky Esports Championship, they went into the closed qual, ended up being dropped by Aurora, couldn't qualify to that LAN event. We saw only very recently they even participated in an ASEA Cash Cup, and I think it shows the the stagnant nature of TSM, of how hungry and how desperate they are for a good result, for not only a best of 3, but just a tournament run.
Fortunately for them, they did win that Cash Cup. It's the only decent result they got under their belts. USP's a big, oh no, Process, surely not! No, guys, you can't be serious! You can't be serious! It's a 5-on-2! There's rifles in play and Deagle's closing in, the pincers against the T sideline. The wallbang sprays are working down the HP. Oh, God!
It's still recoverable. It's just unlikely. It's just very darn unlikely. They've just got no map control. 2v5, Moto on the AWP, Inters as well. Big just know, as long as we set crossfires, as long as we're holding off of one another, there should be absolutely no way. This is so unlikely to be around victory here for TSM.
Of all the times, it was a USP 2K.
And the fact that even the money and the flow is not that good. Like,
Yeah.
they really need a plant. They've got to get this trade onto Tabson at the backside, and they are desperate for a plant.
Oh, he's tapping their heads off. See you later, boys! Get out of here! Get out of here!
I don't know. I don't know what you can add to that. That is just a round that will give you actual nightmares. Yes, there's a bit of distraction, but USP... Oh, that's so frustrating.
Jesus. Oh, boy.
Probably cost them the game. I mean,
Yeah.
now that they're on force buy territory, you think attack would come in straight away in that round. Moto, desperate for a pick towards outside and garage.
Already nades have landed, center of mass. Mantu towards the outside, the AWP in position. Dive down from one of the SMGs. Gets up close against Mantu. Does do at least a little bit of dink damage. Cypher can capitalize upon that, but Tabson's right back involved. Kill found. Process gets Modo. Sin finds Volde, and Inters is all that remains. Another kill to add to his tally. A double up. Okay. 2K. Bomb on his back. And now looking to dive down to the B bomb side. It's his best bet.
Now try and get that bomb down. Now he's got a smoke for coverage, so he can actually smoke himself to get the plant down.
Spray back. Never mind. Crimbo straight into the night. Any money bonus for TSM. Which means it will be a broken buy on the second stage, a loss bonus for what may well be the last round of the series. 12-6 is the scoreline to make up. Map and match point for Big.
Well, it has felt competitive at moments in terms of the scoreline. I mean, it's been whitewashes basically at all maps. I mean, obviously map 2 was a bit of an odd one considering it was 8-4, and then obviously went all the way back to 13-8 and the other way. But just some seriously one-sided scorelines across this best of 3.
Yeah. It's been a wild one at that. Big at least seem on to evade the disaster. Had so many worries off the back of that second half of overpass, but it's all been recovered here on Nuke. Perfect and fine, so long as they shut down these pistols and do not allow the Tech 9s to keep this one rolling.
Crimbo, got to be careful about the overextension here towards round. Doesn't want to go too far forward. Instead, just happy with a jiggle. As soon as contact goes down, get that incendiary in.
Sin backs up Crimbo, seeing them, hearing them, incendiaries stop them dead in their tracks.
Sin with a little bit of an off angle, almost trying to toy the likes of Cypher to get down there. Another HE is just chipping away.
Spray doing damage. AWP not quite fun in the opening kill either. They'll back up. Molotov to send them packing. One man seen jumping across. Mantu's also been spotted. And they'll back away to try and put a bit more support towards the ramp control. 40 seconds for the clock though. TSM need to get to a bomb site.
It's a good decision for Big just to keep back off, to keep giving that respect, because Mantu's even going to see the split into heaven.
Get the one kill. Tabson bearing down upon them from heaven. Jax with one decent deagle shot, but it needs to get to a double or a triple. Not going to happen. Modo gets one back, but his teammate's been taken down. It's all on him to clutch A 1-on-3 to keep TSM alive. AUG involved, peeking in, spotting one. Sin bursted upon, he gets the final kill, and that is a 13-6. A 2-1 series, a surprising affair in terms of the 3 maps, but ultimately, Big the favourites get the job done.
Yeah, and for Big, they came here for the result. It probably didn't go down the way that they would have expected, but they've got a victory. They're not down in the lower bracket at all, and I think for Big, this is a wake-up call, because if you play like that against some of the other teams in the comp, you're going to lose. You're going to go down in that lower bracket. There is a lot of what I would say are deaf teams, right, to the style that Big kind of play, that on any given day, Big could lose to.
And the fact we came into today as well, when we were saying that really the only team that should give them competition is looking for Org, because we thought Big had turned the corner in terms of their online capacity, right?
Yeah.
We've seen this team constantly lose out in online tournaments, but on this occasion, they were supposed to be the team that should have dominated all, and unfortunately, TSM posted up a hell of a showing that Big really struggled with, so I have a feeling that, yeah, you might be right about some of the challenges ahead of them. They will be facing 0-0 Nation in the next round in the upper bracket quarters, as meanwhile, elsewhere, we've got Preezy taking on Bad News Eagles, Pain Gaming up against Sinners, and looking for Org against Anonymo. In the lower bracket, round 1 has been decided with TSM versus Sprout, Endpoint Legacy, Aurora Gaming, Alternate Attacks, and Into the Breach versus Mouse NXT.
Yeah, we've seen both Aurora and Alternate Attacks in previous CCT Online Finals actually go quite deep. So to see that kind of head-to-head in a lower bracket round 1, I'm sure it will really hurt the Germans now that obviously Slacks has gone over to North America if they're not able to at least carry on what they've been able to do in previous events.
Look, a lot to look forward to over the course of the week, right? Round 1 certainly has set the pace for how things have gone, or how things are set to go over the course of our online finals. And maybe some surprises here and there, but how do we feel about our results? Have we got the right teams in the right places?
Yeah, we do. I think looking for Org have obviously made a much larger statement than what Big have done in terms of like the favoritism and in terms of what we can expect from the winning mentality and just putting results up on the board. That was a very shaky series from Big, and I think that's going to change a lot of people's perspectives moving on further on into the bracket.
Well, look, 0-0 Nation can really back up their ideas, and I have a feeling that they'll also throw in a testing matter against that Big side. So I'm excited to see where that one will go in the quarterfinals. But that is, of course, all action for the preceding days. There's plenty more action in the CCT Online Finals, as we are set for a whole week of action, right? So tomorrow we're back, same time in the morning. I'm looking forward to seeing what matches we've got coming up for us. I'm not sure the schedule's out just yet, but look, I can see a couple of matches in there that I think would be very exciting to watch.
Yeah, I'm with you as well. And again, we've just got through all the upper bracket games. This is now where, especially in the upper and the lower bracket, that's where you get to see the runs. Like, that's where you actually get to see the teams that can seriously put wins one after the other after another, and hopefully cause some upsets in the meanwhile.
Well, upsets and favourites. We'll find out how everything will go down in tomorrow's proceedings. For tonight, however, that is all we have for you for the CCT Online Finals number 4. Round 2 will be kicking off at the same time tomorrow. So make sure you join us. Until then, though, good night.
A very complicated job, but I love simple things so much. One move, one push. One touch. One love. One click. One expert.
You look into your inventory and there's only... It's time to forget about this garbage. Here you will find everything to play with really cool skins. Open top cases. Upgrade dropped skins and turn your junk into a cool gun using the contract system. Every day, thousands of people upgrade their inventory with us. Hellcase.com. Look at yourself in a new way.
Watch the matches with bo3.gg, the official stats partner of CCT. Check out AI-powered predictions in live matches. Get access to live scoreboards packed with in-depth weapons and grenade statistics. Check out round maps in the match results. Extend your game vision with bo3.gg.
Yo, what are you doing?
Exhibit.
What do you think? I'm a paperclip? It's Mr. X to the Z. You need to quit browsing like a lame and get Opera GX. Because with GX mods, you can pimp your motherfucking browser. All you gotta do is click here, select a mod, and boom! New look, new sounds, new everything.